Hi, my name is Armel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make an Indian style dinner. So, the ingredients you'll need for the rice, there are three major parts. The rice, the curry, and the fish. All these three combined make a delicious Indian dinner that is bound to fill your tummy with amazingness. So, step one, the rice. You will need a cup of rice here, 2 cups to be exact. So carefully take a bag of rice. I recommend getting the basmati rice from the store if you're in need, of course. Pour 2 cups of rice into this bowl. I recommend also using a bowl. So just place this in the middle because you're not going to put much rice into it. Take whatever you desire. Once that is added, add a bit of water. Okay, so now that you poured the water and it's ready, now we're going to move on to the fish. So for the fish, you will need the fish here. I'm using tilapia. You'll also need some turmeric powder, chili powder, and you will also need some peppercorn seeds, and also some salt. Also, you will also need some garlic and ginger. Also, you will need cumin seeds. This is very important as it brings out the flavor. Okay, so now moving on to the curry. You will need some spinach leaves, some cumin, some lentils, and some coconut. You want to put all these together. Okay, so now we're going to make the rice. So as I said, you will need to use your water and also the rice to put in it. So this will be cooked. So you will first need to put this, and you will need to heat this water until it starts to boil. You don't need to put it that high because obviously you don't want it to completely evaporate. Then, while that's boiling, put the rice that you've contained here and wash it completely. Make sure it's nice and washed like this. Rinse it. You can rinse it. Okay, so now that we got the rice and the water ready, we can now move on to the next step. So, you have some water here. So, take some water. Here, this is going to be where the lentils are going to be washed. Make sure this is completely washed. Do not make it dirty. Okay, so now you added the turmeric powder to the lentils and salt. And now you also add salt. Now we're going to put this in this pressure cooker. And be careful. Do not spill it. Nice and easy like this. And make sure you use as much as you can because you don't want to waste. So keep putting this in the cooker like so. Okay, so now that you have this kind of here, and if you have these kind of cookers, you need to wait until this whistle blows twice. In the meantime, while you wait for that, now you can pour your rice into your water that's already boiled. Be really careful, as I said with the mixture over there, you don't want to accidentally spill any rice out, so be extremely careful. And also be cautious because this water is going to be insanely hot. So now I'm going to add one of the main ingredients, the spinach. I recommend using half of this bag if you have this type of spinach. So just put it all in there, and then we're going to later add this to the curry that's over there. Enough. Watch each fish individually, front and back, so it's evenly washed. So when we're cutting this, it tastes better. So carefully run each fish under water and rinse the front and back of the fish. Make sure it's thoroughly washed. So now you got your fish washed. Now we're going to cut this fish. So first you need to cut the fish in half, like so. And then we're going to cut each half in half again. So we're going to have fish that is this long. Or approximately that much. You can choose how much you want your fish to be, if you want it this long or whatever. But for instance, I'm going to make it this large because I like large fish. Now that's when we're going to marinate it. So first, before marinating, make sure you put all the fish into one easier bowl to marinate, so that way you don't get turmeric and everything around everywhere. Okay, so now you have your fish cut. Oh, there goes the whistle. we're going to start making the marination. So I've already added 1 tablespoon of ginger paste in here. So now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Careful. 1. And that's 2. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt for the flavor. And then we're adding 1 teaspoon of these shatter cubes. Pepper. And then we're also adding 1.5 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Okay, so I think now our rice is ready. So hence we're going to turn this off. And now we're going to drain the rice. So make sure you're wearing oven mitts because it could be hot. And carefully pour to this strainer to remove the water. Okay, so now we have the rice drained. So now we're going to mix this mixture. I recommend using a mixture that's like blue leaf, and carefully do this. Put up to 2. Let me take it to the taste test. Okay, I think I added too much salt in this. So we're going to add some lemon in to cool the salt down and make it more of it. So this should make it a bit more better, a little less salty. So now when you're done with that, you're going to carefully pour this over the fish for marination. Make sure you get all of it in because you want the entire fish, when it's fried, to be look like this. You don't want to have plain fish. That's why we made so much, because we need to marinate everything. Okay, so now when you got most of that out, we're going to use this to carefully spread it all around the fish to marinate it. And make sure the entire fish is coated. And it turns this color. It shouldn't be like this. When it turns like this, you know it's marinated. Same thing. Okay, so now that I've marinated the fish for about 20 minutes, we're now going to fry it. I typically use an air fryer because people say it's best for frying fish. So for the air fryer, you want to put it at, look at the gauge here, you want to put it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So set that temperature. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 375. Click on that for 15 minutes. Okay, so I've already put the fish in the air fryer, and now while it's heating, carefully add your spinach that you've cut into your cooker. And add all of it. These are the crucial steps. Now, once set, soak it in there. You don't need this anymore. Okay, so now we have our air fryer ready. So now we're going to put each fish individually, one by one. And this is a very important step. Do not put the fish on top of each other. It needs to cook evenly. So carefully put each fish side by side, like this. I'm only going to do about 4 or 5 for this demonstration. You can put it, if you have a bigger air fryer, you can put more. I'm using air fryer because it's the easiest way to fry fish. Because obviously, you know, using oil in the pan would take a lot longer. And this is actually a better method. Now you got your fish in there. You're going to carefully close the tray back up. And heat this for about 15 minutes. Okay, so while the next batch of fish fry is being air fried over there, I'm going to be talking about the food I made today. So this is the rice that we had earlier. Of course, it's come out way softer now. Very white type of bland rice. This is the mixture that I made earlier. In India, we call it chirkutan, but in America, we call it spinach curry. So pour that on top of here. This makes for a really good flavoring to rice, because obviously, who likes white rice plain? It's very good. And here's the fish that I made. I typically eat this aside from rice, but you can actually mix it together if you want to. Alright, so let's try it. That's good. What people I've seen do is they actually take the fish like this and eat the rice like this as a nacho. Ooh. So I'm going to just discuss what it actually had in this. So based on what I've heard, This has 206. The white rice itself had 206 calories, but the spinach actually gave it 58 more calories total. And it actually doesn't have that much fat in it. It only has like about 0 grams of fat. And it's the good. And the spinach itself actually has the good kind of fat. You know, the mono and polyunsaturated fat. And this is also high in vitamins. Vitamin C especially. The tilapia fish is very high in vitamin C and D, surprisingly. And also, as you know, most fish is high in protein. This fish has 20 grams of protein.